This is KGW News at 11.
We begin tonight with a fast-growing wildfire in Skamania County. It's prompted evacuation orders near Underwood, just west of White Salmon. About 100 structures there were threatened by the flames. Thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. The fire was reported this morning just before noon, and those who live nearby have been packing up, racing to evacuate. Here's Ashley Grams.
Fire crews continue to fight the Tunnel 5 fire that started just after 11:30 this morning, and crews have taken to the air using water drops and fire retardant to keep this fire at bay. About 315 acres, the Tunnel 5 fire consumes the hillside near Underwood, across the water from Hood River.
About 11:30, we were coming across the bridge and we saw the smoke, and it was just starting because we're like, what's going on?
The fire continued to burn through brush and trees, forcing level 3 evacuations for some homeowners in Skamania County. Evacuees with horses and dogs settled down for the night at the Skamania County Fairgrounds.
We have a lady with a couple of horses came in, so we got them set up and got them some hay.
But for many, the sight of orange skies and heavy smoke is a reminder of 2020.
And we thought, unfortunately, we've seen that before.
Not the first time, won't be the last. We used this facility before in 2020.
Washington fire officials say it's unclear how many buildings have been lost, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Fingers crossed and pray. These guys are out there doing all they can to knock it down, so our prayers have been done.
The Deputy State Fire Marshal says they will bring in more resources from across the state to support these local firefighters who have been battling this fire. On the ground, of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest on air and online. For now, I'm Ashley Grams, KGW News.
Well, because of the wildfire, Skamania County officials have issued a boil water notice for users of the Underwood water system. They say water may have become contaminated due to a loss of pressure. Even if your pressure seems to be fine, you need to boil water for at least a minute before using it. Well, we're also following a wildfire that forced some level 3 evacuations along the Oregon coast in Lincoln County earlier this evening. It was first reported around 4 near Governor Patterson State Park. That's just south of Waldport. These are new photos just into the newsroom from Yahat's News. And as you can see, the fire drew a huge response from Central Coast Fire as it was burning dangerously close to some beach homes and cottages. Now, the evacuation orders were lifted around 7, and residents were allowed to return home. Highway 101 is also back open tonight after it was shut down for a few hours. The cause is under investigation. However, crews did find remnants of mortar fireworks near the start of the fire on the beach. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, what type of conditions are these fire crews facing?
Bone dry, Blair, very hot, and we're going to continue to see our temperatures just climb heading into tomorrow. I'm tracking what will be our first heat wave of the summer, with temperatures close to 90 tomorrow and getting even hotter, close to 100 degrees potentially for both Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think if we see widespread 100 degrees, let's say 97 to 100 degrees, that'll be coming on Wednesday. But regardless, we are going to be looking at some serious heat heading into the holiday. We're looking at conditions right now relatively calm, but out in the Columbia River Gorge, you're going to start to see the winds pick up over the next couple of days, and that's going to be the case along the coast, the valley, and the mountains. Now, there are no watches and warnings because of the wind, but again, obviously fire danger is going to be on top of a lot of our minds here over the next couple of days, really all week long. As we look at the Oregon coast tomorrow afternoon, you're going to be seeing gusts close to 25, 30 miles an hour throughout the valley. We can be seeing gusts at times peaking around 20 to 25 miles an hour. And then heading into Tuesday, we'll start to see the winds pick up again throughout parts of the metro area, really along east side of Multnomah County and into parts of the Columbia River Gorge as well. Temperature-wise, we are in the upper 60s right now, but the watches and warnings, look at that. That orange color is a heat advisory that goes in effect Tuesday morning, stays in effect until late Wednesday night. Meanwhile, there's going to be a fire danger throughout parts of southwest Washington and into parts of Chehalis heading into the next couple of days. So obviously, the next couple of days, Blair, is going to be a busy travel time, and it's going to be bone dry no matter where you go here throughout the metro area, Washington State, or anywhere in California, or anywhere in Oregon, I should say. Temperatures quickly climb this week. Highs Highs around 90 degrees to start tomorrow. Again, record heat potentially for Tuesday and into Wednesday. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. Well, as he mentioned, some serious heat is on the way to Portland and the Pacific Northwest. People are encouraged to stay hydrated and out of the sun. As Thomas Schultz reports, this heat can be dangerous if people aren't prepared.
Yeah, it can. And as of now, Multnomah County does not plan to open cooling centers and shelters this week. But that could change as county officials continue to monitor the weather. Meanwhile, the Joint Office of Homeless Services distributed water and gear to people living on the streets. And doctors say everyone is susceptible to extreme heat.
I see young, healthy people who are sick from heat all the time in urgent care.
Over the next few days, the National Weather Service says temperatures could near 100 degrees in the Willamette Valley. Dr. Ann Toledo says it's important to stay in shady areas, drink water, and limit outdoor activities. The longer extreme weather hangs around, the worse the effects.
When you have multiple days in a row, it has an additive effect of getting worse and worse for people in their health.
Some residents say they're already stocking up supplies.
Make sure that I have enough water going into the week.
Max Early says he plans to crank up the AC and stay indoors. Others are notching preparations up a level.
I keep plenty of water, bottled water on hand. I also have a swimming pool, so that's a bit of a cheat and get everybody out there.
But Toledo says severe heat is becoming a bigger issue due to climate change.
We see disasters like major wildfires, and that has a lot of implications, both direct and indirect, on people's health.
Young children and the elderly are the most affected. People with lung and heart problems are also at high risk. Those with asthma may have more difficulty breathing.
What you do see are a lot of dehydrated people, a lot of heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Toledo says if you're outside, make sure to wear a hat and lightweight long sleeves to protect your skin from the sun. If you don't have an air conditioner, she says you should try to visit someone close to you with cooling in their home. Blair?
Well, we have an update on the hiker who died at Multnomah Falls yesterday afternoon. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office tells KGW he was a father of 5 from Beaverton. His name will be released once all the family is notified. The man was hiking with a group when he lost his footing and fell about 150 feet down a steep slope. First responders had difficulty getting to him, and he died before they could reach him. The Sheriff's Office expects to release more information on Monday. Well, we have an update on the possible hate crime attack on a food truck owner in Southeast Portland. Police have made an arrest in connection to this case. Here's what happened. On June 15th, Daryl Preston was working at Laurel's Chicken Shack. That's a food cart at Southeast Foster and 52nd. He says he was talking to his wife on the phone when a man attacked him unprovoked, stomping and beating him severely. Portland police identified the suspect as 40-year-old Daniel Warren. This morning, officers spotted Warren walking on Division Street in the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood. He was arrested and booked into the county jail on a second-degree assault charge. Meantime, Preston's lawyer tells KGW that the food truck reopened today, and Preston was back at work for the first time since the attack. Well, Oregon state lawmakers wrapped up their session while making up for lost time because of the Republican walkout in the Senate. When it was done, Governor Tina Kotek went over some of the wins and losses. Here's Tim Gordon.
The longest walkout ever in the history of the Oregon legislature. It made for fast, challenging times when Senate Republicans agreed to come back to work. And not everything went according to plan. For instance, House Bill 3414 would have cut red tape to get housing developments built faster and would have allowed cities to quickly expand their urban growth boundaries by up to 150 acres. A bill championed by Governor Tina Kotek, part of her big push to add 36,000 housing units a year.
And on the day of the floor, I thought we would pass the bill. We didn't. That happens. That doesn't mean we aren't coming back on the topics.
In fact, when asked, the governor did not rule out a special session to try again, saying the housing and homelessness crisis is priority 1. She also applauded legislators' $200 million commitment early in the session for more shelters, rent assistance, and other initiatives designed to keep people housed and help those who aren't.
So this is a full-bore, all-hands-on-deck approach, and now the session's over, we don't let up. We are having conversations every day with communities of how they can address this issue locally, and I want to see progress.
Another key win, according to Kotek, was Oregon's billion-dollar commitment for replacing the interstate bridge. She says the time is right to push forward.
This focus on the session was about making that financial commitment that has been made. We need to replace the bridge. It is a safety issue that we need to address, and I'm glad that we are lockstep with Washington State, going to our federal partners to ask for the support we need to do the project.
And speaking of transportation, a pump-your-own gas option is coming for all Oregonians when the governor signs that bill into law, one of more than 300 bills she has on her desk. Tim Gordon, KGW News.
The American Cancer Society is getting ready for its annual Do It Best lot sale next Saturday, July 8th. That's where you can buy discounted household items to support local cancer research. The group is hoping to raise $30,000. This year, it's from 8 a.m. to noon at the Willamette Valley Melons off Dryland Road in Molalla. If you don't want to buy anything but still want to help, you can make a donation or volunteer that same day.
The amount of support we receive from Do It Best and our other small business partners means the world to us. They make up a good chunk of the dollars raised in Oregon, and they're able to help us fund research. And currently we're funding approximately $12 million in research in Oregon alone.
Well, all the money raised will go straight to the American Cancer Society. Organizers say you can expect a 50 to 80% discount on all items at the July 8th event. Again, it's from 8 a.m. to noon.